following is a presentation of the Hello Chicago Network.
Hello, Chicago Network is on the air. Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Anashadas. It is time to focus for this Thursday, July the 23rd. Today we're focusing on the Chicago White Sox in the second half of the season. Earlier this week on Tuesday, we talked about how their first half finished up. Now let's talk about how we expect for the second half predictions for the White Sox. First off, don't sell the farm. And you don't want to sell the farm for 2026. Now, I know this team they're in first place in the American League Central, and that's great and all. And I know everyone's like, let's jump when the iron's hot. And you do want to, because you don't know when these opportunities are going to come around anymore. Like when the 2016 Cubs won the World Series, like this team's going to be a dynasty. They got to the NLCS the following year, and then they kept going backwards. So you just never know when you're going to get that opportunity, but you don't want to sell the whole farm. They got prospects. They got guys. I mean, I know they traded Jacob Gonzalez, traded him to Pittsburgh for draft picks that I didn't even know you could do in Major League Baseball. But besides that, I think it's interesting, but I still think don't trade everything away to go all in for 2026. This team has a great hitting core. I think pitching is going to come around, and I think that's the next thing. And then eventually when you know this team is gung-ho, I think that's when you go all in. And that could be this offseason, but I don't think you do it right now for this season. Acquire a closer. Now, I keep saying Aroldis Chapman for the Cubs. I think it would be great for the White Sox, but the Red Sox are back in it now. Of course, they did sweep the White Sox right before the All-Star break as well, and they're playing pretty good baseball. So, and they also swept the Yankees in a 4-game series before that. So they're playing really well. So will they be a team that's going to be like, okay, we're in or we're out? So we'll with the trade deadline about 2 or 3 weeks away, it'll be interesting to see that. But I think a closer, because I mean, Sir Anthony Dominguez if you count those games as wins that he's blown, this team might have a 4 or 5 game lead in the American League Central. So having a closer this time of year, and those blown saves only get blown up more in the second half of the season. And then progress from the young batch. You've seen great things from Braden Montgomery, of course, the great walk-off home run he had in his major league debut. You want to see Colson Montgomery, Murakami's back. I think all that stuff, you want to see all that come together. And I think you want to see the progress of the young bats and hopefully build to a young team that's too dumb to know, or too young to know they're not supposed to be this good. So, I mean, we'll see. And then just and sometimes those teams are dangerous and those teams can get hot in the playoffs. So White Sox fans, I think you need to be excited for what this team is bringing to the table. And also congratulations to Rock Kozlowski, shortstop. So they drafted another one. And I mean, they got like 5 shortstops. So, and we'll have to see where they'll go with that and who they're going to trade and who are they going to keep and who they're going to move. But it'll be interesting. But we'll see how long it takes for Rock Kozlowski to get back into the big leagues. And I think that's great for the Chicago White Sox. I think that's great that they had finally, they should have had the number 1 pick last year. They didn't even get it the year they had the worst season in baseball. So it's crazy. But I think things are looking up for the White Sox. So we'll see if they can hold water in the second half. And could we have 2 Chicago playoff teams? Hell, we just like to have 1. But if we could have 2 Chicago playoff teams, we could have a fun, and then the Bears are going to be off and run. Could be a fun October here on the Hello Chicago Network. Like the video if you like what you see. Don't forget to comment below your thoughts on the second half of the Chicago, or the first half, or what your thoughts on the second half of the Chicago White Sox. And don't forget to subscribe to the Hello Chicago Network YouTube channel. Every Monday through Thursday, we're focusing on Chicago sports. So everyone have a great weekend. We'll be back, of course, next week. All-Star game. We're going to talk. I want to say we're going to get the World Cup out of the way next week. It just ended on Sunday, so I think we're going to put a bow on the World Cup, and then we'll start talking second half of baseball. So, and it's going to be fun again. We're a couple of weeks behind recording wise for the summer. We'll pick right back up and be all caught up when season 3 launches on Labor Day. I'm Ryan Anashadas from the Hello Chicago Network. We're the focus of Chicago sports. can't. Sir Anthony Dominguez has not been a great closer, and I think that's one thing this team needs. And next week we're going to talk about second half goals, and you can't bring it up without saying a closer, because there's how many games have they played, especially even against the Guardians, where they should have won the game, the series, and they let a team go. So I mean, that's the frustrating part. Cardinals stay in it. They do push the Padres back, as you see in the bottom right hand corner of the National League wild card. We'll talk Central if it gets interesting. The Brewers just don't lose. And the Brewers, I think, are a World Series. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see a World Series contender if they can go out and get Tyreek Skubal. They got the prospects, but we'll talk about that at a later date. I've enjoyed it so far. And I mean, soccer is not even on the list of teams I watch, but it is very fun. It's very patriotic. I'm a fan of Norway. Norway seems to be a very fun team to watch. Remember how fun they were at the Cub Mets game, and they're still in it. I believe they're facing England. And I mean, Mexico got upset, and then Colombia. So I know a lot of my fiance's Mexican, so that his family was all in on this. And then Colombia, someone I work with, his wife's from Colombia. So, and then obviously the U.S. So there's so much ties. It's crazy, but it's Turkey 3-2. They did lose the final game in group play. It didn't matter. They already clinched their spot. I don't know why this keeps doing this, but sorry. It's driving me nuts.